We on? We're on? Hello. Hi. Welcome to Alberta Park. We're on a tree walk here this morning. It's the last tree walk of the year, so Happy New Year's Eve. My name's Harrison, and I use he, him pronouns. I work in the Green Space program.
And I'm Hallie. I use she, her pronouns, and I work in our Neighborhood Trees program.
All right. So today we are here to highlight kind of like this park in general, but also to highlight a project partner of ours, Portland Parks and Recreation. They're doing a certain thing called nature patches. There's about 10 of them in the city now, and Alberta Park was one of the first. So we're gonna kind of see how this nature patch is going. It's kind of like the Green Space program, how we plant shrubs and wildflowers, native species, to bring in an understory. So the city of Portland is doing the same thing. They're bringing the understory and nature to places that might not have the most access to green spaces.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see the different parks develop the nature patches. I know our office is pretty close to Irving Park, and I'll walk to work and walk to the park there. And I don't know, there's a big storm a couple months ago, and they utilized a lot of the trees that were that blew over in the storm to like build it into the nature park. The nature patch. It's been really cool to see that. And I live in this neighborhood, so I walk by this nature patch all the time, and we're excited to show it to you.
Yeah. All right. So we're we're gonna be under a big canopy today of conifers. The main conifer that we'll see is the Douglas fir, the state tree of Oregon. But another tree out there is the grand fir, another native species in our state and in our valley, the Willamette Valley. So if we want to zoom in real quick, we'll do a little tree ID moment. So here's an example of the grand fir, and here's an example of the Doug fir, and here's a cone.
I'll hold the Doug fir pieces
Awesome.
so we can
Do a little compare
Yeah.
contrasty, all right? So the main differences between these two is that the needles grow around the stem on a Doug fir.
People will also call it like a bottle brush tree because it looks like a bottle brush, what you would use to clean a bottle. So it has the round bottle brush effect.
I need one of those at home.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, and then the grand fir is known for this very flat kind of semblance of its needles. So kind of like nice and flat, kind of like a hemlock you might see. And then if you look underneath, you'll see this two silver stripes, and that is another giveaway that is a grand fir. You're going to find lots of Doug fir cones on the ground, but you will hardly ever find a grand fir cone on the ground because they shed their scales in the tree.
And a lot of folks might already know this, but one of the coolest things about the easiest way to identify the Doug fir is the little mouse tail that it has, that it looks like a little mouse is scurrying into the cone there. I think the lure is for safety from fire. So if you're hiking or you're looking around and you're not sure what trees are above you, if you see a cone like this that has a little mouse tail, you are pretty sure to look up and see a Doug fir.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
A little folklore.
Yeah.
All right, so the entrance to the nature patch is right over here. Now, something about Parks and Recreation, back in the 50s, the city planted Doug firs very densely in large patches, so that leaves a legacy today of these tall Doug fir trees that are very close together. You'll often hear like a Cooper's hawk roosting up there, kind of overlooking the park. Okay, we've got an interpretive sign. Wow, love those. Alberta Park, Nature Park patch. So yeah, it's part of the Ecologically Sustainable Landscapes Initiative by PPNR, and really just to bring nature to people who might want to see it firsthand, close up.
Lots of great natives are planted, a lot of sword ferns. The park has labels of what's what, like sword ferns, salal, plants and species that really thrive in shade and moist areas, which obviously in the understory of a Oregon forest we get a lot of, and a Portland forest we get a lot of. fade and swampiness.
Yeah. Or you can see the landscape is a little engineered. You know, there's like little carved out areas for to imitate like a creek bed with these river rocks, and you can see the slough sedge kind of really doing well right in that area. Also these rushes. Let's get a little closer. Here's an example of a rush. This is the spreading rush. Rushes are round, so these roll in my fingers. And then the sedge here, sedges have edges. There we go. Let's dive deeper into the patch.
Pine maple.
Maple, yeah, check that out for a great fall color in about 9 months.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Are we on a forest hike right now?
I feel like we're on a forest hike right now.
Okay. Well, I see clover. That might be just advantageous. Oh, okay. Near another one of these little depression areas is another water lover that green space plants a lot. We've got spirea here, still holding on to some of its leaves. Likes to hold on and to its flower cluster that's bright pink when it blooms, and then hangs around brown like this for a long time. And a big giveaway for spirea are these little tight buds that are will just hold on for, I always imagine holding on for warmth until they're ready to come on out in the spring. Oh, here we have, so Hallie mentioned the sword fern, but we have a different kind of fern here. This one tends to like to stick to the ground. Again, like I think it's trying to stay warm or something. This is called the deer fern, and it has a more waxy, close leaved appearance. Not as sharp looking as the sword fern. Oh, and looky here, it's got some new shoots coming up. It's happy under here. It's ready for a new year.
Mm-hmm.
Just like me.
New year, new fern.
Yeah, new year, new fern. So, Hallie, do you know how long this nature patch has been here?
Ooh, a couple years. I feel like I remember it really taking off in 2018, I think, but it could have been before then, but I remember really noticing it in like fall of 2018.
Okay, yeah. Great.
But
so,
yeah, it could be older. I just remember coming here on a particularly sad day, and then walking through here, and like this is true. I'm just feeling better, and like feeling really good to be in this space.
Yes. Yes. I remember, yeah, like a couple of years ago, seeing some of these trees getting cut down by the city, and I walked up, I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, well, since we planted them so densely in the 50s, we're thinning it out a little bit, and we're going to use these as part of the experience. So nature logs for seeding and for habitat. Hallie mentioned those kind of like wildlife piles. There's one with some of the fallen branches, and that's to give, let's get a closer look. That's to give some habitat and shelter to small mammals and birds that frequent this park. You can see park staff already made a little hutlet here.
Oh, it looks so cozy in there.
I know.
Wonder if we can find anyone in there.
Yeah. Is there like a little martin or something? A little ferret-like creature, a squirrel? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think too, probably when there's a big storm and these branches come down, we can just add to the habitat.
So yeah, as always in nature and in the city, make sure to walk softly. You know, look out for woody stems. They've been working really hard to survive. And speaking of a woody stem, this one's right here still has some leaves. This is I believe it's the red huckleberry. It's definitely a kind of huckleberry. And these tend to grow out of logs, and they're really hard to establish. So it's cool to see that this one has made it through its establishment period. and it's on the way. If you're hiking around and you see these kind of bright green towards the end of the bush, then that's one signal that this is a huckleberry, and it's got alternate leaves right there. Tasty too. All right.
And who are we again, and where are we?
Yes, so we're Friends of Trees. My name's Harrison. I use he, him pronouns in the Green Space program.
And I'm Hallie. We use she, her pronouns in our Neighborhood Trees program. We're in Alberta Park for our final tree walk of 2020. Looking forward to 2021. We're also at the end of Give Guide season through Willamette Week. We're a nonprofit featured in the Give Guide, so if you're looking for ways to donate to year-end giving, we would love your donation. We also, some of our partners we work with, so the Blueprint Foundation, Wisdom of the Elders, and Verde are also a part of the Give Guide program, along with like hundreds, probably thousands of other nonprofits. So take a look and get your tax-deductible donations in.
All right, so we've got another forest friend right below our feet. Wow, they're all over the place. All right, so what is this here? This is French cup, and it's a nice soft kind of serrated edge here on these kind of heart-shaped leaves. I think that's called a cordate-shaped leaf, like cordata for the heart. And these are really cute because they, like that deer fern we saw, they send up these little shoots with kind of bell-shaped flowers that hang down, and they're really great along like a side of a path, and just give a kind of gentle appearance to your walk. All right.
Well, step on
It's a clover patch. Okay. Lots of ferns, definitely a shade lover. Lots of vine maple. Solal.
I'm surprised there's no Oregon grape in here that I haven't seen yet, at least.
Yeah, oh, here's one. Wow, all right.
That wasn't even planned. So our state flower, Oregon grape, obviously not flowering right now, but has a beautiful yellow flower. Oregon grape can often look like holly when it's more mature, which holly is invasive and not our state flower. But yeah, Oregon grape is plentiful, and when you're out hiking, you'll see it. It's all over Forest Park. Yeah, it's a great native that our Green Space program plants a lot of as well.
And a great way to tell the difference between a holly and an Oregon grape is that if you look at how the Oregon grape attaches to the stem, it's one by one, and I believe holly has a compound leaf. So this is more of a simple attachment, and then the holly is a compound attachment. All right. Let's see what other goodies we can find on the trail here. All right. So in moments like this, if we look and turn to the right here, you see this sunny patch, and so this is an opportunity for a plant that likes half shade, half sun. And so the red flowering currant here can do just that. We call it an edge species. They thrive on the edges of planting areas. And so, you know, it's another one that holds on to its leaf. It's got a nice palmate leaf, meaning that we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of like a hand, like a palm.
Well, the leaves are fuzzy.
Yeah.
Can't feel them right now, but I mean, I can. You can. But.
And yeah, their buds, they're also alternate, kind of like what we were talking about with another plant over there, but the spirea, I think it was. But these buds are more green, and and kind of just laying and waiting and hugging close to the stem. Now, I know there's some cool plants down here, so let's end our walk in the next few minutes in that corner. Yeah, it's wintertime, so it's a hard time for plant ID. You know, you see, we have a lot of evergreens in here, you know, like the salal and the Oregon grape and the sword fern, but a lot of things have lost their leaves already. So it's a good opportunity to enhance your twig ID. For example, this kind of spindly, windy plant here, this is twinberry. And twinberry grows really well in wet areas, so I can see that they saw this kind of sloping edge and that the water would kind of run down here and feed these roots more regularly. A cool thing about twinberry is that in a lot of places where we're planting in green space is we have to deal with nutria and beaver eating the plants. They really like red osier dogwood, but they don't like and they really like willow too, but they don't like twinberry. So we plant a lot of it, and so that if they do want to make their habitat, that there's still going to be something giving shade to the creek that we're usually planting next to.
Well, I think that maybe does it for this morning. We're gonna enjoy our time in the park here before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And a happy new year from Friends of Trees, and
Happy New Year.
And to you.
We will be doing this on Instagram in a few minutes, so if you didn't get enough, stay tuned. Switch channels.
Till next time.
Bye.